Hello everybody and welcome to the auction purchase walk around of our 1983 Toyota Sprinter Trueno. This one here is a two-door notchback version. This one here is a pretty amazing vehicle. We've bought a lot of these from auction here in Japan for export, and this one is top notch, easily one of the top 5 that we've seen, and I think that we've done over 100 of these over the years. So really hard to find good condition versions of this car, and this one is well above a good condition car. This one is pretty amazing. Okay, so let's take a look. First off, the 4AG engine runs perfectly. There have been no modifications at all to the engine bay other than just an aftermarket grounding kit here. This vehicle has 76,321 kilometers, and it looks like the majority of that was done in the last 4 years or so, because the timing belt here shows the mileage was 37,977 kilometers in 2002. The vehicle definitely looks like it has that amount of mileage, especially the interior, which I'll show you in just a sec here. Really cool to see these in stock condition, even down to the stock suspension, which is very uncommon on these cars. And so the previous owner of this, I think, was a kind of special owner. Usually you'll see aftermarket everything on these cars, from turbos to superchargers to carburetor conversions to everything, really. No rust at all in the inside of the engine bay, and very little rust on the car. These are commonly rusty cars, and so something you have to watch out for. I'm very happy to see this one, and a little bit worried actually. This is kind of funny. We have quite a few requests for these cars, and we don't have an awful lot of people who end up buying them because the really good ones end up selling for a lot or are very hard to find. But this one, I think that we got lucky, and it's good value for the amount that we paid. Okay, we're going to go over to the auction sheet and we'll see what that has to say. I'll go over a couple of the defects of the car because it is, I guess, over 30 years old now. These are not, they're pretty classic, I guess you would say. So it's a 1983. That would make this a Zenki model. And I also want to mention, let me pull out again. I'm so excited to see it. This color scheme, the silver two-tone Panda, was only available in the Zenki models, and I've only ever seen it on the notchback, so I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that you can only get this color on the notchback. And we never got this in Canada, where I come from, or the US as far as I know. And it has the full blue interior, which is another thing that I don't think that we got. Mind you, we didn't get the 86 until 1985 model, which was the final year of the Zenkis. And if you can't tell already, I'm a little bit of a an enthusiast for this car. So let's get into it. So, pardon me, let me just turn this sideways. This one here is an R grade because it's been in an accident in the front and the back. It has been a mild accident. Core support was replaced, front cross member replaced, and some minor damage to the inner panel and the end panel. But if you take a look at it up close, you can't really tell any sort of damage on the car. It looks very well repaired, and the vehicle has been repainted. The repaint quality is very high. It looks like they used the original Toyota silver paint as well, which is a lower mica content than today's silver paints would be. Okay, so interior B and exterior B, 76,321 original kilometers. That's authentic mileage on this car because there's no mention of that, and it is warranted from the auction. 5-speed manual, purchased from user, so that would mean dealer trade-in. Black racing 14-inch wheels. Now let me show you, because they look like Watanabe's. They're actually by a company called Black Racing, and these are 14-inch wheel with the original wheel size and tire size by the look of it. They are E4 code wheels, tires, and they're 2013, and so pretty much brand new tires came with the car. Very lucky on that. Tanabe Hyper Medallion. I don't know what that is. Tanabe Hyper Medallion. Okay. Front lip, side seal, trunk spoiler. Let me just show you these. These are Zenki original model. This front lip was the original one that came on this car. Side skirt is the original one. Kind of looks like the AW11. And the rear spoiler is the original one. And to be honest, I like the Zenki model versions of these parts better than the Koki model. In case you don't speak Japanese, it's pronounced Koki, not Kuki, like a lot of people say. Okay, 4AG engine, of course, OMP steering wheel. Unfortunately, it's not the original steering wheel. I love the original steering wheels in these cars, but they're near impossible to find these days. 2012, June 22nd at 37,977. The timing belt was replaced. Owner's manual, warranty papers come with the car. Okay, so here's the report that the auction said. Interior is dirty and scratched. Seat wear. Front cross member and core support have been replaced. Front inner panel is dented. Trunk floor end panel dented. All of these look better in person than I expected them to, and so looks like a very mild accident on this. Seat is ripped, and they are the original seats. Can you see in there? And original seats in an 8.6 are something of an impossibility to find these days, and ones that aren't completely thrashed is also very difficult. Underside surface rust and corrosion. Now I did peek under there and I got a video underneath that gets sent with this report, but didn't see any signs of rust or corrosion under there in any visible areas, and it looks like it's in really good shape. So there is that. A dashboard deformed. Now there's no cracks in the dashboard, which is really weird. It's only very slightly deformed at this area where it meets the windshield. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's really not that bad at all. Pardon me. Wheel scratch, door mirror scratch, small scratches, small dents. And then if you look at the body, the W means repaint, A means scratch, U means dent, and the 1 next to everything is mild. And so basically there's no body damage on it other than a little bit of rust in the back. That's the C1. And then the auction inspector missed a little bit of C1 around one of the rear wheel wells, which I'll show you in a sec. And so finally we get a chance to go around the car. Sorry to keep you waiting. Shine and condition of the paint looks to be very nice. There is some wave if you get in there really close and you really take a look at it, especially at like a low angle like this. You'll be able to see a little bit, but as you can see here, it looks very good, especially if you spend all your days taking a look at 8.6s and you know what they typically look like. This one looks way better. The coupe body style for a very long time was much cheaper than the hatch. It is still cheaper than the hatchback version, but it's coming up in price quite quickly as people realize that the hatches are getting harder and harder to find, and the coupes weigh less, they're stiffer, they perform better than the hatches. They just don't have that hatchback look. But I think people who like the 8.6 are coming to appreciate these ones a lot more these days than they used to. So whenever I shoot these, I always put the headlights up, just because when I had an 8.6, here I go lying to everybody. When I used to drive an 8.6, I used to drive with the headlights up all the time because I thought it was cool. But the headlights were tracking in this one fine. I think it looks better like that. It says Trueno. Now I always pronounce it Trueno, even though the Japanese pronunciation is Trueno, which I don't like saying, so I make up my own words. Oh, I guess before we go inside, let me just show you a couple of things. The seal along here has some paint that's peeling off of it. No big deal. Here's the little bit of rust. Very tiny amount there. Okay, the C1 that was on the back is right here. Zenki taillights, aftermarket exhaust. Okay, I'll give you a quick peek of the underside just so that you know that I'm not lying about that. Okay, if you look closely, the side skirt has some blue paint, so underneath there it was once blue. There is a little bit of rust inside here, and it has been repaired at some point. And on the other side also has it about the same size. Here, and you can see some repairs have been done to this door. Okay, onto the interior. The blue door cards are in good shape. These handles deteriorate over time. These are really much better than the average ones, but they're a little bit worn. The 8.6 actually came in a lot of different colors, and from what I've heard, this car's going to the Netherlands. What I've heard is this color combination is popular in the Netherlands, but to me, because we never see these, it's really cool to me. So seat's in good shape. The rip on the seat is in this very common place for the 8.6. A little bit saggy in this section, but not that much damage. Mechanically, the car is basically perfect. I did drive it, everything works fine, including the AC. Steering wheel is nice. Zenki gauges have the yellow from the 100 and up, and also will have the ding ding sound when you pass the 100. I think the Koki got rid of that sound. AC panel is bright and easy to read with no cracks in it, and this dashboard is just lovely. The console and everything, almost no scratches. It looks like nobody's even used it. It's funny, we've sold a couple of cars that people say, I went to the Toyota Museum and saw their original 86 there, and it was in worse condition than the car that I ended up buying. And this car is definitely in that sort of category. Rear seats are good, and modifications to the rear board to fit larger speakers in there. Corner cards here are in good shape. And not very much color fade on here, but there are some damage to the top of the seats. You can see there's cracking in the vinyl up there. Headliner's in perfect condition. And I guess I'll show you the trunk. The liner has been removed. If this were my car, I would get an original liner if possible, because the car is otherwise so original and so nice. It's nice having no liner and no spare tire in there, because you can see the condition of the bottom, and it's all been primer painted, and everything looks to be in fairly good condition. There's a little bit of surface rusting down in that one, and a little bit around the drain hole there, but nothing that's corroded the metal too much. The guy here who owns this truck, he came by to pick up a couple of cars that are broken, and he was like, wow, that's a really good condition 86. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that this video makes everybody want to have 86s, because I know I want to have another one. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, post them in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.